Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Just Another Talk. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the post that Polymarket made that then turned into a streamer beef. So, as you can see, Polymarket said analysis reveals female dominated corporate roles are more vulnerable to AI automation than male roles. Okay, you could look at that as an opinion, you can look at that maybe as facts, or you can say, I don't like that, it sounds misogynistic, it's not true, right? Okay, cool, whatever. Whatever your opinion might be on that. Obviously, Polymarket it's pretty much like a gambling site. It allows you to gamble on basically anything and everything. So now, Asmongold says, too many fake jobs were invented to create artificial parity between men and women in the workforce. AI fixes this problem. Hopefully, after this is over, women can go back to doing what they do best, being a mother or being a prostitute. Now, right now it has 1.1 million views, and I'm pretty sure you're probably thinking, oh shit, firestorm incoming. Well, you'd be right if that's what you're thinking, because after that, this gentleman right here, his name is Mashed. I didn't know who he was till the situation kicked off, but regardless, he decides to respond to Asmon's comment by saying the following. It's crazy how much reach this mentally ill gamer has. It's crazy because if you point out how much of a loser this guy is, you get called jealous. Guy lives alone in filth with rotting teeth and roaches, despite being a multi-generational wealth millionaire. Okay, clap back. However you might feel about that, maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it. I wanted to look at a few of the comments. Let's say, obviously, this one's I f with you, mashed, but this is a L take. You think women should be prostitutes, cooks, or jobless because they are lesser humans? Which is a misrepresentation of what Asman was talking about. And we'll get a little bit deeper later. But I just think some of these comments are kind of interesting. You aren't someone who should act with virtue after you made a female VTuber quit streaming. Literally look at Hexes. Google Docs saying she quit because of Tectone and felt forced to take his side. I mean, I don't know what that beef's about, but okay. Your extra chromosome, Pete. X is unforgiving. I feel sorry for you. How is it relevant to what he said? He's just stating what will happen to Western countries after de-dollarization is complete. You will be lucky if Canada remain. He should have put remains. But regardless, remains independent by that time. Because he's acting as if women are brainless, useless, less than humans. It's brain dead. That's not how he's acting. And I think what Asmongold said, and I probably should give my opinion, but I think what Asmongold said may be tasteless. He may have said it in a way that will frustrate people. But if you look past how he said it into what he said and the facts that he's speaking upon, and I've watched some of his videos, so I realize where he's coming from. So if you've never watched Asmon or haven't watched any of his videos about this topic, then I can see how you get to the position that Mashed is. But you come to understand that he's not talking from perspective that women are less than men. He's talking about the perspective that we now have in this country, which is the United States, and really just most Western worlds, where there is this complete and total fight to make the two genders equal. Like, we are not equal, not because one is better than the other, but we're not equal because we do different things at different proficiency levels. Who the fuck are you? That's kind of like the first thought I had. But at the same thing, anyone can say that about me. I got, who knows, not even that many followers on YouTube, and I still continue to make videos. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're getting hard as because you've become irrelevant, and it's pathetic and sad watching you bend the knee to against your own interests and against your own real opinion. You consistently post base shit, then delete it and bend the over. Damn. Resulting to personal insult slash attack rather than debating someone if you disagree with them is the lowest form of intelligence or lack of it. You are the biggest bullshitter and so condescending to women. Stop using Asmongold and women to chase clout. That's what you do. So obviously, some of these comments, there've been a few positive. Most of them are negative. I didn't read through very many before I started the video. Regardless, so Mass decided to post a video about this topic, and we're gonna go ahead and watch that as well. This is the real reason young men are cooked. Okay, let's go watch it on X just because.
I feel very sorry for young men in the world because
Okay,
I feel like
tell
they
me
are
why.
genuinely being indoctrinated by some of the worst people possible.
Okay.
Misogynistic, genuinely stupid
Ah,
people.
Why is
Because
that?
they're
Tell me more.
successful, because they are popular, because they've got money, and unfortunately, if you speak up about this stuff, you
Uh-huh.
are woke. You are a cuck. You are a loser. You are jealous. And even earlier today,
Okay.
I dunked on Asmongold for his post. There was
Oh,
a
did
post
you?
he said, too many fake jobs were invented to create artificial parity between men and women in the workforce. So he's automatically arguing men and women are not equal. We essentially just made up jobs. So
They're not. We're not equal. As human beings or in the court of law, we're equal. This is just a gross misrepresentation of what Asmongold is trying to convey. But let's give him a chance. Maybe I'm wrong.
that the women could play along and feel better. And then says AI fixes this problem because it disproportionately is affecting women-led jobs and industry type things, saying that women are replaceable. And then he says, hopefully, after all this is over, women can go back to what they do best, being a mother or being a prostitute.
He's saying women are replaceable in the jobs that AI is taking. Now, mind you, remember, this all started because Polymarket did an analysis, but you notice he doesn't mention it.
Insinuating that that is all women are good for, being a mother or a prostitute.
I know I keep stopping it, but it's just like he's not insinuating that. He's just saying that's what they're best at. There are things that you're best at. That doesn't mean you're only good at those things. I mean, I don't know. Am I giving Asmongold too much grace? I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
Now, my wife is an incredible mother.
Okay, great.
She is amazing with my children, and I'm so blessed that she is the mother of my children. But she's also
Okay.
insanely smart, works in
Right.
pharmacy, and has so many talents that to call her just a mother is a joke. And to get this type of comment,
I'm willing to bet, at least in my personal opinion, one of the best things she does is being a mother.
from Asmongold is embarrassing, and to accept that as the truth is embarrassing. And not enough people will talk about this. But I talked about this. I dunked on him a little bit. I said, it is crazy how much reach this mentally ill gamer has. I said that
That's not dunking on him. I know he didn't finish reading the tweet, but you're already coming at him with ad hominem attacks. Attack the point that he made. Don't attack him, attack the point.
it is crazy because if you point out how much of a loser this guy is, you are called jealous. I am called jealous. People are dunking on me because I roasted this guy. The guy lives
It's not a
alone
roast.
in filth with rotting teeth, cockroaches, and despite being this multi-generational wealth millionaire, this guy's probably worth 50 mil. I don't even know how much he's worth. It may be even 100 mil. He lives in such a disgusting hoarder-like environment, or has for so long.
To me, it sounds like because you make X amount of dollars, you need to live in a way that shows you make X amount of dollars. The little bit that I've watched of Asmon, I've noticed he does not care about those things. He cares about what he likes. Asmon lives a simple life. He lives in his childhood home. I don't get where he's trying to go. To me, this just sounds like virtue signaling. Sounds like a whole lot of I know better, so you need to listen to me bullshit. But okay, let's let him finish. Maybe he's gonna get to better points.
That it's hard not to question his sanity. And when you bring this up, it's like, well, you wish you had millions of dollars. Brothers, I wish that he didn't let the teeth rot from his mouth to the point that he would need surgery or to get his teeth fixed.
Yeah, you're still talking shit,
wish
bro.
he didn't have cockroaches and rats infesting his house. And
Okay.
yes, he might have cleaned it. But to get to the state that he was in, he has to be so mentally ill. I feel sorry for the guy. I am not jealous of Asmongold.
And Asmongold actually goes into detail of what happened and why he lived like that.
He has to be so mentally ill.
You're right. I grew up in a house where my mom never really had a job, and we grew up in poverty. And my dad helped me out a bit, and he made sure that the lights stayed on, but that was about it. The reality is that there were massive holes in the house, and my mom wouldn't allow anybody to come out and fix the house because it would be condemned. So there was just bad spawn RNG, really. It was bad spawn RNG. And as I was growing up, obviously, I took almost all of my money and I reinvested it into improving things for her. That was really the other big reason why I started my YouTube channel, is because of her being sick. It's because I couldn't get a traditional job because I had to take care of her all the time. And as soon as I started making enough money, I immediately started investing it into the house and into improving her living situation. And the reason why her living situation wasn't better at the time that she passed away was because she wouldn't allow me, or sorry, I wouldn't allow any contractors to come into the house and fix anything because she refused to get the COVID vaccine. And because she was immunocompromised and any COVID would instantly one-shot her, I viewed it to be the lesser of two evils to not take that risk with my mother's life.
I hope that he can get help. If that makes sense, I think you have a brain. If it doesn't make sense, then I think we're going to be lost no matter what. But the amount of comments in here that are either defending the guy or calling me a loser, it's frightening because I know that these are the
Why is it
people
frightening?
that
Tell
I'm
us.
worried about. These are the people that I
Oh,
know have been affected by this.
you're worried about
And
them.
I want to
Oh,
segue away
okay.
from Asmongold because, yes, he's successful. He has a lot of money, and that is appealing to young men. But there's another one that I want to talk about, Clavicular. Now,
Oh, he's gonna talk
Clavicular
about
is a
Clav too.
guy.
I just want to take a moment and just, oh, I'm so worried about them and the fact that they're being brainwashed to listen to these guys who are, all these evil words. We are 3 minutes and 30 seconds into a 13-minute video. You yet have to contend with the point that Asmongold made, which comes from a post that Polymarket put up. And then you wonder why you don't have the engagement you want. Okay, all right, bro. Let's see what happens.
That is blowing up everywhere. Clavicular
Okay.
is just everywhere right now.
Oh, he
And I
is.
know
Okay.
that
That's
young
true.
men in junior high and high school, some of the content that they see from this guy is appealing. It's hard not to look at, a picture of this guy's place and be like, whoa, I want that. And to look at his jawline or a video of him kissing women and being like, yeah, I want that as well. But you have to understand.
You see how kissing women, yeah, like I think he's not understanding, like, and listen, I'm not also the kind of person who celebrates some of the things that the internet celebrates. I'm also not the kind of person to be looking at life from the perspective of some of the guys that are the most popular on the internet. I think he's just upset because he didn't get the response that he wanted. He thinks that he's a great guy and he should have more followers because he's such a great guy. That's what this video is giving me, and I've only watched 4 minutes of it. I'm sorry, guys. I know I keep stopping it. I'm gonna let it play for a little bit now.
Understand what you are actually looking at here.
Okay, tell me what I'm
Should you
looking at.
take life advice? Should you take looksmaxxing advice from someone that is so unconfident in their own skin that they would take a hammer to their own face? I just want you to listen to what he says here.
When you wake up every single morning and you take a look in the mirror, you're 100% satisfied with every single thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, more or less.
This guy's brain is short-circuiting because he can't understand that Andrew is okay in his own skin. He doesn't care if he's the best-looking guy, the tallest guy, the strongest guy. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. And if he wants to change some things about himself, if he wants to go to the gym more or some of these things, he can. And he cannot. It's up to him what he wants to do. But at the end of the day, Andrew obviously does not care what he looks like and is confident in the person that he is. And this clavicular guy.
This is why context matters. Andrew's also older. Okay, Clav is in a state of his life where what you look like, your appearance matters. He's in his early 20s. It's like that's all, as a guy, that's all you're looking at. Oh, I need to look good. I need to have clean sneakers. My clothes need to be good. I need to get fashion stuff. Once you get older, you get to a point where you don't really care. Once you get older, what you look like isn't a determining factor or isn't connected to your confidence as much as it is when you're a young man. That's context number one. Context number two. To sit here and say that because Andrew said that he looks in the mirror and he's okay with it means that he doesn't think that he can be better at things in his life is crazy, because no one is a perfect 10. Everyone can improve. Again, this is where the nuance is important, because is Clav doing things to improve himself? Yes. Would I recommend it to young folks? No, because he's going to the extreme. But there are things that there's still a message within what Clav is saying, and that's really my point. But let's let it play out, because again, I'm ranting a lot. I'm sorry.
Cannot
guys.
accept that. He can't understand that. And young men are getting looksmaxxing advice. They're being told to smash their face in with a hammer from someone that was kicked out of school,
Yeah.
has admitted to doing methamphetamine in all descriptions, in all dictionary breakdowns of what a loser is. Clavicular is a loser. I would never want this to be an idol of any person in my life.
Well, you shouldn't have idols to begin with.
If my son told me that he idolized or thought Clavicular was a smart person, a good person, was helping people, I would be very worried. I would be
He's
very
not a
concerned.
dumb dude.
But if I say that,
Wild
I
thought
will get
process, but
attacked
not
by
a
this
dumb
guy's
dude.
audience. And it's a weird contrast. It's a weird situation to be in, because if I warn you about the dangers of people like Andrew Tate, of Clavicular, of
He's
Asmongold,
still on
of
the
these
Andrew
things,
Tate. Sheesh.
I am viewed as weak. I am viewed as woke or a loser, or I am a sheep. And it's frustrating when someone like myself wants to extend the olive branch and I want to try to at least open your eyes to it. I am viewed as the problem.
It's how you go about it that's the problem. It's not that you're the problem. And again, this stems from a position where like I'm right, you're wrong, so I need to teach you why you're wrong. Like no one is ever going to consume content like that. That's crazy.
It's not the guy that lives in a roach infested house. It is not the guy that took a hammer to his own face. It is not the guy that has to pay women to spend time with him in his mansion because he's such an insufferable douchebag.
Who's that?
It's
You're talking
me.
about Tate?
That's the problem. The tough thing is, even though I'm an arguably successful dude, I've got a wife, I've got kids, I've got beautiful relationships
Okay.
with my family and friends. I retired at 33 years old. I succeeded online and offline. I take care of myself pretty good. I'm not the most jacked guy out there, but there's a lot of things that I think would be role model worthy for young men to look at. I was a father at 17 years old.
He's jealous. He's jealous that they've reached an arbitrary level of success, which he quantifies it by things and what he's done and what he has versus what he's done and what he has, and is upset that he's not getting that kind of attention. I think at this point, if this is how you feel, or at least from my perspective, it looks like you made this video because of this, then my boy, you got bigger problems.
I was scared out of my mind being a high school student who was about to have a baby and become a father, and I buckled down, I worked my ass off, and I took care of that boy. I am proud of the man that I am.
You should be proud,
But if
bro.
I call out
You got a
these
wife and a kid.
degenerates,
That's good.
I am viewed as weak. I am viewed as less than, because I might not have as many views online, and maybe my jar
No,
online
I
isn't
don't think
quite
you're viewed
as
less
sharp.
than.
And the unfortunate thing is, when you argue with someone online or when you tell someone that they're wrong, in a lot of cases, they dig in their heels and they double down. They will dig in and be stubborn and fight it. And
Yeah,
if I
anybody.
call these people out, it's a vicious circle. I probably won't sway anyone. Me talking about these things doesn't change anything.
You're not swaying them because you're not arguing the facts. I'm gonna keep saying it. Argue the facts. Argue what he said. Contend with what he said. As a matter of fact, why not talk about the fact that it was Polymarket who put the post up and Asmongold responded to that?
Because a lot of the people are just going to say, I'm the sheep. I'm the sheep. I'm the woke one. And it's so frustrating.
I mean, you kind of
and
are.
kind of why I wanted to make this video is I am worried about young men, not because they've been influenced by these people initially. It's because I don't know how to uninfluence them. I don't know how to get them to take the olive branch and actually accept the help.
Right. And there you go. You don't know how to do it, so why do you want to be the leader, I guess, of young men? Someone who's a leader doesn't say, I don't know how to lead these people. No, a leader leads. It is what it is, bro. Like you got to get over that part. I just think he's jealous. He's upset at what he's upset at the fact that Asmon, who's a very articulate person, yeah, I think he's a smart dude. He's not a dumb dude. And yeah, he has some wild takes and some extreme takes, but everything he speaks about, he has a very articulated opinion on. So I don't get why you don't like. I mean, I can understand why you don't like it, but I don't get why you're so frustrated. Same thing with Clav. Clav's not a dumb dude for his age and for the amount of thought process that he's put into his looks maxing idea. Like I'll give him credit. I give him credit. And honestly, you know what? Actually, this dude's giving me. You know how like you look at every generation looks at at the previous generation or the generation that's coming up behind them and always says what they're doing is horrible, it's going to get worse. Like this moral outrage about the folks that are underneath you because they're younger, and it seems like, oh, I know better because I'm older. Like, bro, you're giving off old head vibes. Like that's literally what I feel like. And that's why ironic because at my age, I'm a little bit older as well. I'm 35, but I also try to not do that to the younger kids who are coming up under me. Because the only difference between me and them is the fact that I was born. Let's say you're 20. The only difference between me and you is the fact that I was born 15 years ahead of you. That's it. That's it. Now, how much work I put in versus how much work you've been able to put in also matters. And I think this guy doesn't understand that. He's just talking down to the folks that he's actually trying to get to follow him. And that's not how things work.
And videos like this get made, a lot of bad faith arguments start happening.
Like yours?
When I make this video, people start saying, well, a lot of these guys are just championing to be more healthy, to be stronger, to go to the gym. What's wrong with that?
I mean, they kind of are.
Nothing's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You should go to the gym. It's great for your stamina. It's great for your mental health. It might make you feel more confident. You're going to be strong. And in some cases, you might be able to work a job that you otherwise couldn't. Whether it's construction or something like that, maybe you need an initial bit of strength to make it in this world. I am not arguing against that. But you also don't need to hate women while doing it.
That doesn't mean you hate women. Again, this is where you fail, bro. This is where the woke shit comes in. Just because you make a statement, even if you don't like it, like that doesn't mean you hate women. It's like, think about this, right? The guys who were on an assembly line, right? They were only smart enough to be on said assembly line, making one piece of an equipment, whatever, right? Just putting on one screw. When the machines that came out that could do that, what do you think happened to them? They were fired. They would no longer have a job. As a man, I can look at that and say, yeah, I understand that. Like, why are you so butthurt about this? I don't get that part.
You don't need to be misogynistic while doing it.
It's misogynistic.
You might want to look better. That's fine. Get a haircut. Shave or don't shave. Do things that make you feel confident, good about yourself.
Wrong. This is perfect. Oh, do things that make you feel confident about yourself. Well, me not taking a shower is what I like. That's not going to help you, bro. You're going to stink. And if you stink, girls don't like dudes who stink or who live in pigsties. They just don't. And this is the ironic part. It's like nowadays, it's my truth and how I feel. And because I have this thought process, this is what works for me. I should get everything that the dude who's disciplined, who goes to the gym, who works out, who reads as much as he can, who goes the extra mile to get the promotion or to, build the business, who takes the risk, right? And all these other things, all these other components that would be qualifiers for somebody who is attaining success, whether it's monetarily, whether it's professionally, or even personally, right? You want all those qualifiers. You want the same outcome. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. In order to get the best outcome, you have to put in the most work. You can't put some work in and still get the best outcome.
But if you then ask a woman out and she declines you, don't hate the woman and become this incel.
No.
And that's the problem is a lot of these content creators, they give you one piece of good advice and then there's a little bit of an incel comment. Here's a misogynistic comment. I'm just going to sprinkle that in as well. And that's where it gets lost. And that's where people kind of glaze over it and they don't realize that the stuff that they're getting fed is damaging them and it is damaging their kind of prospects in their future.
You just called the people that you're trying to influence too stupid to realize what they're being told. Bro, are you okay? Like, what's wrong with you, my guy?
When you see someone that's successful, it's hard not to idolize them in some way or question, well, if I'm not that successful and this guy is, he must be doing something right.
To an
And they
extent, of
are
course.
doing many things right, I'm sure. You don't get to that point if you're not successful. But a lot of the most successful people out there are the most narcissistic and psychopathic and bad people. Most billionaires exploit people.
And here we go. Here we go. You know what? I'm gonna let him finish before I give my
Just
thought. Go ahead.
you can't make $1 billion without exploiting people. It's
Okay.
impossible not to.
Okay.
Okay? And I think that the whole world is in this weird place where it's just fighting. It is just, instead of me making this video and someone saying, you know what, maybe thanks for like kind of opening my eyes to this. Thanks for maybe shedding some light on this thing that you're worried about. I am instantly viewed as a villain or this, I have this like agenda.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You didn't open somebody's eyes because you didn't argue, you didn't contend with the statement. You just decided to hurl a bunch of ad hominem attacks at Asmon and at Clav. That's the problem. And I don't know how you can't see that. Also, to contend with the billionaire statement, we live in a capitalistic society. When you provide value to the market, you get a reward. Now, the size of that reward depends on how much value you provide to the market. Now, there's also another aspect to that. If you listen to any of the folks who've made a lot of money, they usually say there's a component of luck, there's a component of being relentless, there's a component of being better than your opponent at every level. Can I agree that that means that you have to have some level of narcissism? You have to have some level of operating from a place that most people don't understand? Yes, I can understand that thought process. But to say that most billionaires are evil is crazy work. You're acting as if you're holier than thou. It just does, bro. I don't know how else to say it. I've been saying it this whole time. This video is gonna be a little bit longer than usual, but it just, how can you not see that? But let's let him finish.
First comment that I had when I tweeted this about this, the
Okay, what's the
first
first
comment I had was about my political stance. The
Right.
first comment that
But
I
you're probably a
got was
Democrat, no?
what my beliefs were. And instead of talking about the problem, and instead of talking about my worry for young men and the influences that are out there, people are trying to suss out what my agenda is
Right.
and what I gain from questioning bad behavior.
That's how you categorize it. No, but yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? You could tell. I can see what way you're leaning.
Questioning derogatory statements, misogynistic statements, racist statements. And I always question this, and this is the last thing I'll say.
Oh, thank God.
When some of these guys open their mouth and they openly say something
Like what?
so rude, so misogynistic, so sexist, so homophobic, so many things. They say these things that are just genuinely, in some cases, hateful and hurtful. People respond saying they're speaking the truth. They're speaking facts. They say you're standing and said that with your full chest. It's kind of this weird respect for it. But if I say those guys are losers, those guys are a problem, it's not facts. It's not the truth. I'm just a jealous hater.
It's not a fact. That's an opinion, bro. I I thought were you gonna cook? Like, is that it? You cooking? Like, bro, your house is on fire, bro. What's wrong with you?
It's such an interesting thing, and it's very scary. And I don't know how to change it. If you do, let me know, because I think that young men are cooked. And it's for reasons that if you tell them and you say it to their face, they're not going to listen. Thanks for watching, and sorry for this one. It's a little...
No, they're not gonna listen to you. They listen to plenty of other guys. There's plenty of role models out there that young men listen to. They're just not listening to you and your thought process. And that bothers you. And that's the problem. I don't know how else to say it. I want to read some of the comments on the YouTube video. They're going to be priceless. They have to be. I just came to read the comments, and boy, howdy, am I glad I did. Okay. Why am I the bad guy for calling other people losers when they have a different opinion from me? Right. As a Canadian, I can confirm there's way too much soy in Canada. Oh, so this guy's Canadian. Oh, that makes perfect sense now. Now I understand it. This is what insecurity looks like. Oh, yeah. I called it. I'm not a loser. That's what a loser would say. They always got nothing to say other than personal insults. Not debating any points, can only make it personal attacks. KEKW. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Man, what are you doing? Zero arguments, only attacks. You proven his point. Bro tried to cook but ended up burning the entire house. Sure, I'm being a pretentious asshole and talking down to them, but why won't they listen to me? Right. Like, exactly. I said that the whole time. I've been saying this the whole time. Like, bro, you're talking down to the people that you're trying to lead. That doesn't work. That's not what a leader does. He was really pissed with that ratio on Twitter. Yeah, he was. Uh, this chick is the reason they put warning labels on bleach. Oh my God, bro forgot to switch the oven on. This is the coworker you do not want. I'm just saying. You know this dude cooked when the comments outnumbered the likes. If pretentious were a person, the man wife has spoken. Imagine not making one single argument besides talking about someone's teeth. This guy must be a dentist. Stay on blue sky, big guy. I'm not a loser. Okay, buddy. Bro, what is my Genshin Impact tutorials guide slash tips guy yapping about? Oh my God. He wants to have such an impact and he's upset that he doesn't have an impact. So he comes to the internet to complain about not having an impact. Why don't people love me? I have all the right opinions and am morally correct. Right. His wife let him make this video with her boyfriend's approval. Oh my God, the internet is not for the weak. Listen, if you get in front of the camera, you choose to make videos, I suggest you make sure you have thick skin because if you don't, the internet will humble you. And I think that's what he's going through. I think he didn't realize that he grew his channel doing whatever it was, which it seems like he's a gamer. So, and he's trying to pivot into other things, but it's not going well. And it's not going well not because he can't articulate himself, but just because he's going about it the way that a lot of folks nowadays go about it, which is not contending with the argument, but arguing the person's character who made the point. If Butthurt was a person, his wife's boyfriend couldn't agree more. The moment you start attacking someone's personality over an argument, you've lost the argument. Aristotle, probably. That's a good one. I like that. I'm gonna start doing that. That's good. Doesn't make a single argument, only personal attacks, then wonders why I am being called a loser. Men filmed himself having a crash out. Oh man. Oh God. Young men should idolize me. Sure, G. If mixtape was a person, okay. Mental illness is a bad thing. Am I the only one who expected to see him suddenly burst into tears? Even his wife's boyfriend was embarrassed of this video. This what is called a nice guy hiding the ugly truth underneath. Listen, guys, I know this was a little bit of a longer one, but I want to know what your thoughts are about the situation. Do you agree with Asmongold? Do you agree with Polymarket? Do you agree with what is his name? Mashed? Do you agree with him? Let me know in the comments. And until next time.